This tutorial will teach you some basic techniques using Photopea. So if you type it into Google and then click on this one right here, it will come up with this screen. So if you click open from computer, then you can select the photo that you'd like, which should be saved as a JPEG. So this has opened up the image here. So I'm just going to teach you a few different techniques. So if you go onto image and adjustments, this has got a lot of the adjustments that you can do to your layer. So if you wanted to make your image black and white, you could just simply click this one, or you could go onto hue and saturation, and if you turn the saturation all the way down, that will turn your image black and white. The hue will change the colour of your image, and what you could also do is change the brightness. So you could also change the vibrance, and the saturation's on there as well, and you could also change the brightness and contrast. Okay, something else that you could do for an effect is you could add in some filters. So you could add noise into your image. So if you add noise, creates this sort of speckled effect in your image, and you can adjust the amount that you'd like to do on there. So if I just do a little bit of that. Okay, I could also crop my image down to the size that I'd like it, and then just press enter. And if you want to zoom in, just press Control plus or Control minus. So if I Control plus right into here, and then I want to move over, just select the hand tool here, and then you can go over to where you need to be. You've got a spot healing brush here, so if you right click on things, it will come up with different options. So on this one, if I wanted to get rid of this little blemish here, if I go over the top of that, because it's quite a simple one, that should just get rid of that for me, because it takes the average from around it. So some other things I could do to edit this image would be to turn the image into black and white. Other things I might want to do is create colour pops. So what I can do on my layers is right click and I can duplicate my layer underneath. Okay, but before I do that, I'm going to go off black and white, because I want my image underneath to be in colour. So I'm going to put my top layer up now into black and white. And then staying on this layer, so imagine that these are like two Polly Pockets sat on top of one another, or two sheets of paper. Stay on this top layer, I can select my eraser tool, and if I zoom in, and just use the hand tool to go across to where I want to be. And I can always make this brush smaller as well. At the top. And then that will erase things on that image and just go through to whatever's underneath. So I can always colour pop as well what I'd like. You can also reduce opacity on this. So if you put the opacity right down, it will only take away half the opacity of the layer. So that's quite nice for blurring edges out and things like that, to make things look a little bit more seamless. So that's another thing that you can do. Other thing you can do as well is add filters onto your image. So if you go onto filter and then filter gallery, there's lots of different effects that you can create on this. I think my computer froze a little bit here, so I'll wait for it to catch her. But there's lots of different things that you can add onto your image under this layer. You can also use this if you wanted to do some different experimentation, such as a pencil drawing or a baseline for a bleach painting or something like that. So I'm just going to press X because I'm not going to put a filter on at the moment. So I'm just going to go a little bit more central on my image. One other thing you can do is select parts of the image as well. So it could be that you wanted to create a distorted effect. So what you could do is create something called the lasso effect. And you can grab a certain area of your image. Now you take your time doing this, and you can use things like the magnetic select as well, which will help you with your placement. And if you press copy, right click Control C and Control V, then that will save that as a new section. So what you could do, obviously I've already painted sections out of this, so you do this before. This makes it so you can only view certain layers. So now, if I just press my clicker tool, okay, I could move this over, and I could even do that a few different times. So now select the top one and create different effects with my image that way as well. So there's lots of different things that you can do with some basic tools in Photopea.